Hello, everyone. This is Eric from Etacute back for another live stream, the first live stream I've had in a long time. If you're new here, my name is Eric, and every now and again I do a live stream where I chat to everyone. Sorry about my hair. I've just been super lazy today, haven't done anything, and I'm also streaming for the first time from YouTube. In the past, I used to do it from another website, and this time I'm just streaming from YouTube. So if there are any issues, please let me know, and I'll try and sort them out. Yeah. Well, it's quite interesting seeing this interface for the first time. Yeah, everyone, my name is Eric. I'm a teacher, and I run this Etacute channel. And today I'm just going to do a live stream. I used to do live streams for a long time, every Sunday, and I think eventually I'll get back to it. It's just right now I'm living in this apartment, but next year I'm going to move to a new apartment, and I'll try and set up something a bit more visually stimulating and easy to stream from, because it's kind of difficult if you don't have the right setup. So I'm going to try and I'll stream more in the future. Sorry for the sipping. Sorry for apologizing. No more sorries. I'm just drinking some tea. So I'm currently in South Korea. I teach here, and it's currently 10 p.m. That's when I usually stream, because that's the only time when I can reach people in South America and Canada and the US, because it's quite early there. So good morning if you're going to watch from there. It's been a while since I've done a stream. If you're new here, or if you're here, just put your name in the comments down below and I'll read it. So I've got the camera here and I've got the screen here. So let's see what we've got here. I can pin some of this. Okay, very interesting. Hi, we've got Yana. Hey there. And then Sigma Rule. Hello, good evening, sir. Hi, how are you? I'm excellent. Okay, Yana, and who do we have? Tata Clarkson. Hi, you're my best coach. Thank you so much, Tata. Maria. Good evening from Algeria. Hi, teacher. Hi, Miriam and Yasin. And treats. Sujita. Guys, tell me where you're from. Tell me if you've got any questions about teaching. I'll do my best to answer them. I'm doing really well. Sunday nights, I'm going to work tomorrow. A lot has happened in these last couple of months. I think it's been 2 months since the last time I streamed. It was actually, I streamed when I hit 250,000 subscribers. And I did a live stream then, and a lot has changed in that time. The biggest thing that changed in my life is I got married to my lovely wife, Alina. We're not currently in the same place because she has to get her documents done in Russia. But I'll tell you all about my wedding if you're interested in it. Well, I might just talk about it anyway, but we'll see. Okay, Al. Okay, let's see. Hi, I'm Drew. Greetings from Ecuador. Hi, Drew. You helped me and inspired me a lot. Thank you, Tata. Yeah, I'm so happy. Oh, Sujita from India. Hi. And then we've got BTech Hub. Hello, teacher. Benny from Mozambique. Hi, guys. Thank you so much. I used to do these live streams, and I think, and then I stopped doing them because, actually the reach wasn't that much. Well, what happened was, in the past, I used to stream on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And so I could reach so many people. And then my Facebook and my Instagram got hacked and taken away from me. They got suspended, and I asked for them back, and Meta doesn't want to give it back to me. So I had to start a new Facebook and a new Instagram, and it also killed my passion for live streaming, because I had so many people on there. But I still have my YouTube. Knock on wood. So I'm grateful for that. But ever since then, I haven't been as regular with my streaming. But I'd like to get back to it once I have a nice setup and it's easier to talk with you guys. So yeah, if you've got any questions about teaching, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to talk about my wedding. Congratulations! Thank you, Tata. Maria, congratulations. And my dad's here too. Hi, everyone. Sorry we're a bit late. You're always on time. It's great. So, yeah, guys, a lot has changed. Obviously, my haircut got a lot worse. Actually, I want to go for a haircut this during this week, but I'm jumping all over with topics. But let's see. Today I'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. If you've got questions about teaching, I'll talk about the schedule, what I'm going to do in the coming months. I'll talk about my wedding. Really fun. So the last time I went live was 2 months ago, and that's before my wedding. And last month, yeah, exactly a month ago, I got married to the love of my life, Alina. And a month ago, I flew to Russia from South Korea, flew to Russia. And for a week or so, we traveled around Russia for a bit. It was beautiful. And then we got married in Kazan. It was a lovely ceremony with Alina's family. My friends and family just couldn't make it. It's too far away, and it was very difficult at that time for my friends to go there too. But at least my family sent me a lot of videos congratulating us, which was touching, and the wedding itself was beautiful. I'm so grateful and thankful to my wife for organizing everything. Okay, let's see. B-Tech, put your message back, man, so I can see. I don't know how this works. If I use the other one, I wonder if Dad. Let me try and let's see if I can pin the message. Does it do anything? No, it just pins it there. Okay, I'm going to unpin. Okay. So it says, "Hi everyone. Did you see the video about the teacher that?" Yes. That's a video I put out. Video at 10 after a 6-year-old student shot her. I have a prompt, a question. Please help me. Okay, B-Tech, let me know. Please help me in. Ask me your question. I'll try and help you. Yeah, Dad. So I made a video about that teacher that got shot by a 6-year-old student. So the student was, obviously it started with the family. I looked into it, and so what happened was, yes, the boy was he was just a menace, just attacking other kids and teachers, and just causing worst type of kid that you could have in a school. But then you go and you look at the family situation. The mom and the dad with the divorced, and where he got the gun is the mom actually shot at the dad, and then she left the gun lying around, and the kid picked it up and he took it to school. But yeah, there's also no accountability. Every time the student did something wrong, the mom would just say, no, he didn't do it, he's not my boy, he didn't do anything wrong. So yeah, it's definitely, it starts at home. But unfortunately, as teachers, we're stuck with these students. So yeah, very difficult. What? AKL, 26 years together with your wife and 3 children. That is amazing. See, that is someone I look up to. Very awesome. I love that. Oh, wow. 26 years together and 3 kids. And my parents, how long have they been married now? Dad, you've been married for what, 40 years now, and you've got 4 kids? I'm very behind. So but the one thing I'm very grateful for is that Alina and I, we want the same things. So we both want to start a family as soon as possible. But first, she has to do her documents in Russia, and then we're going to go on vacation, our honeymoon to South Africa. It's going to be really fun. I'm very excited for it. And then, so we're going to be there. And then after that, I'll do a camp in Korea for a couple of weeks. And then we'll move. She'll finish her visa, and then we'll move in together. And, that's actually the part I'm really excited for, is to live together. And because we were basically still a long distance relationship, because we would only be together for a couple of months, and then we would have to you have to depart and not see each other, and it's very sad. It's heartbreaking. Say goodbye each time. So hopefully now, when we live together, it's for good. I'm very excited for that. Okay, let's see. What are people saying? Why did they not charge the parents and the school admin? I think there are some other civil suits going on, but I mean, what they can do. Sally Kim, Sopun, Saxophone. Oh, saxophone. Yonju. Hi, Yonju. Hi. And then my dad says 44 something. I don't know what that's for, Dad. Hello, I'm going to start teaching high schoolers because I'm covering for a teacher. Could you share some do's and don'ts? Wow, David, that's a good zoom in. Okay, here I am. Good. Ah, that's a great question, David. High schoolers. I think the first thing I would say is that don't take anything personally. It's such an interesting time for anyone. If you think back at when you were a high schooler, life was much different. And I think so. We have to understand that they're growing and that they're going through things, and that we are a small part of their world, but a very important one as a teacher. So first of all, don't take anything personally, because sometimes they're just working through things and they're not fully mature yet. Our brains still grow till we're 26, so at that time, we're not fully in control of everything, and hormones are going, and I think social pressure is a big thing. So we've got to understand that these kids have their own lives, and we're part of it. So you should understand what your job is. Your job is to help them and to create an environment where they can prosper, where they can feel safe, where they can feel interested in what they're doing. And they should also feel like whatever you're teaching them is valuable. So go in there, not to be their friend, but to be understanding of who they are. So you go into class, you're going to set firm boundaries so that they feel safe in what is expected of them. And you're also going to want to try and build relationships with them, because it's important for them to know that there's a teacher that provides a safe environment and that's interested in them and wants the best for them. But the one thing I want to warn for most teachers is you don't want to. There's a fine balance to everything. You don't want to overinvest in these things. Oh, I hate this. Sorry, guys. This is a very old light I've got there. I've got to get a whole new setup soon. So you don't want to get overly involved. A lot of teachers think that they know everything and that they're supposed to be preaching for these kids and telling them what they're supposed to think, or they know best. And then you get teachers on the other side of the spectrum that feels that the kids are robots and they should follow orders blindly. I think remember, you're a leader. You're supposed to guide these students. So I think that's the most important. I don't know if you ask anything. What subject would it be, or are you just covering? I'm going to start teaching high schoolers because I'm covering for a teacher. Could you share some do's and don'ts? Yeah, so I think that's a nice thing, is that you're a sub. I think I made a video on being a sub a long time ago. Let me look it up. Sorry, guys, I'm quickly going to go into my YouTube and just going to look up tips for substitute teachers. I think it's a good video. It's not that popular, but I think it's got some good tips. Substitute. There we go. 10 important tips for substitute teachers. Pre-AI. I've got to always say this. I'm really proud of my pre-AI work. Check this video out, David. It gives some more tips for if you're a substitute for that. Okay. I'll share some more tips and things. I haven't done this in a while, so we'll see if I can give some good information. But you know what? I try and make a lot of videos that cover everything. So if I remember a video that I can share that might be useful, I'll put it in the comments down below. In this era of AI chatbots, children are highly expressive in speaking, but they often show little interest in writing. How can we encourage them to develop the same enthusiasm for writing? Hmm. Okay, let's think about it. Well, yeah, I was actually thinking about it before. I used to do a lot of essay writing, and some of the essays that I enjoyed writing were the ones that I was invested in. I remember this one thing, this one time, a friend and I, we both enjoyed writing, and sorry, I'll take the microphone with me, and we started writing these essays on aliens, and then we decided to put it in the same world together, and we started writing. And there was this one kid that never didn't want to write an essay, and I said, okay, I'll write your essay for you, because I was so immersed in this world, and I wanted to create more stories about it. And then the teacher came and said, you didn't write this, Eric wrote this. I'm like, yeah, but I wanted to write it. Anyway, when you want kids to write, I think first you want to make it easy. You want to lower the barrier of entry, because if it's too difficult and if you require too much of them, they're just going to cheat. You want to do it the easiest way possible. Just going to ask AI to write it for you, and you're going to rewrite it. But what you want to do is, so first you want to start slowly. You can say, okay, well, I want you to write a paragraph describing this. Okay. And then you're going to make it 2 paragraphs. And then you're going to ask them to link paragraphs together, and then write a short story. But you want them to, it shouldn't be very difficult. It should be very easy. And you should give them a sandbox that they can work in. If you make the sandbox too big, it's a desert. and it's too big, it's too intimidating. But if you give them a certain set of parameters in which to write in, it might be interesting. If you say, you give them an example, and you give something small that can ignite their imagination. I'm trying to remember this thing about a block in a building. So I remember the story of a teacher saying, well, if you just ask students to write about, let's say, the school building, it's like, oh, well, I'm not going to be very creative if I just have to think about the school building. And what they suggested was giving a short sentence to start it, like, outside the class, there is a very specific brick in the school wall, and when you open it, this happens. Anyway, it's just this introduction to get their imagination going. So I think when it comes to writing, be it creative, be it functional, you want to make sure that you inspire your students. You want to lower the barrier of entry so that they get started with it. And yeah, you want to motivate them to be creative and to put themselves in that. So I think that's very important. Something that AI can do that, but you want the students to write some experiences, or write in a way that they can share more of themselves. Okay, I don't know, something I'm thinking about. Teacher, how to teach effectively in a mixed class with different age and different also level in the background. Yeah, so differentiation. You can differentiate the activities, you can differentiate the material, you can differentiate the assessments. Actually, I made a really good video about differentiation. I'll share it with you. But one of the things is, you want to get the students involved, even if they are different levels. Differentiation. Here we go. Differentiation in the classroom. Oh, I like this one. Okay, this is a video I made about differentiation in the classroom, where you can involve all the students, and then like, I've got students that are different levels all the time and different ages. But the more I get them to work together and learn from each other, it helps. If the gap is too big, then you want to separate them and do something different. Like I've got a class where it's supposed to be an intermediate class, and there are actually some foreign students that speak English almost fluently. And then I've got some Korean students that speak English well, but not fluently. And then for some reason, I've got this one student that just wanted to do the class, but he's not even beginner level. So he's there, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to lose it. Usually, I would encourage them to move to a different class, but in this case, I thought, yeah, this might be fun. Let's leave him in class. I'll take care of him. So he's in class, and actually, before I thought he's very low level, but actually he's got a good attitude, and I think I've motivated him, and I've been working like once I put the students in different activities, and I let them express themselves. I work with him, and I also give him a chance to be part of the conversation, a very small part, but he still feels like he's learning and he's motivated to learn. So yeah, but I don't know what I'm saying. If I'm sharing anything useful, but this video that I shared definitely has some good tips on differentiation with mixed level classes. I think I've got another one with it just mixed level classes. It was such a good video that I made. Mixed. Let's see, mixed level. Yeah. Whoa. Actually, one of the first, how to teach mixed level classes. But I think is that the same as this one? Let's see. Anyway, I'll just share both of them, but I think they might be the same. Are they the same? Play. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to share that. No, I think it's the same one. Just watch out. Okay, let's see. It's going to be 2 weeks. Okay, so David, you're going to be teaching for 2 weeks. I think plan it out really well. Have activities, have things they have to give you feedback on, have things that you want to reach. If you go into that classroom with no idea, nothing that you want to accomplish, the students are going to get bored. They're going to get rowdy. Nothing's going to get done. Now, as a substitute, they're supposed to provide work that you have to cover. And I think go through that, but also try and add some more to it. So that was treats. Oh, I hate this clicking. It doesn't work that well. Go away. No. Okay. I will be teaching English. Okay. Yeah. So have activities that you can do with them. Treats. That was a great tip. I'm making my weekly planning and listening to you. It is a joy. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah. What was I going to talk about again? Oh, yeah. So I'm waiting for my wife to join me. We're going to go on vacation in a little bit more than a month's time. I think 5 or 6 weeks from now. So how am I going to stay busy? Well, I need to start making enough videos for when I go on vacation that I've got videos to put out. So I'm going to have to work a little bit harder, but I was so lazy today, but not the whole day. So actually, a couple of years ago, I was looking for some exercise. Now, I enjoy going to the gym. I like working out, but I wanted something for cardio. And maybe 4 years ago, I started doing kickboxing. Loved it. Amazing cardio. Lost a lot of weight, and I also tried to balance in some going to the gym and weightlifting and things like that. But then it wasn't great for my hips. I could feel that my hips and my lower back it hurt after a while. So I knew that kickboxing wasn't like something that I wanted to do a lot. But this gym I was going to had fitness dancing classes. Now, originally, I would have liked to do something like aerobics or like Zumba, because it's basically just following the teacher, and the moves are simple, but it's acrobatic. It's aerobic, and you're moving and you're sweating. But then, and I don't like spinning classes. That's just not for me. I don't enjoy being on a bicycle like that. Anyway, so I went to this gym, and they had a class for fitness dancing. And I saw these ladies just like moving and dancing. And I thought, but it's just women in there, all the ladies. And I thought, you know what? I did the kickboxing. Let me just go in and see if it's okay if I join. Maybe I can. It'll keep me accountable, so I keep going back. And it looks like it's great fitness. Everybody is very fit, and maybe I can learn something about dancing and enjoy whatever music they play. So I went and spoke with the trainer. The trainer is actually one of my good friends today, and I started doing fitness dancing, and it was horrible. I'm so bad, and the whole time, like a week or 2 weeks in, and I just thought they're going to ask me to stop going. So I'm the only guy in there. Lots of ladies standing in the back trying to move or do whatever they're doing, and I just kept doing it, and it was really fun. And then I moved to this new apartment more than a year ago. Wow, it's been a while. Yeah, a year and maybe 2 or 3 months. I've been here now. I can't wait to move to a new, bigger apartment, and get a nice setup to talk to you guys a bit more. And then I started fitness dancing. So I came here, and my old trainer told me that she goes to another one, and so I started up there a year ago. And recently, they said that they were going to do an event, but you have to practice on weekends and after class. And I thought, you know what? This might make me a better dancer. It might make me fit before our trip. So let me sign up for this event, not knowing that. So every Saturday and Sunday for 2 or 3 hours, we have to go to the gym and practice. And now, after gym class, we're going to finish the classes like 10 or 15 minutes early, and then practice together. So a month from now, or a little bit more than a month from now, we're going to do the event. I saw the costumes we're going to wear. I think Korean ninjas. That's what it looks like. So we've got an A and a B group. The A group, I think, wears like this black uniform. Imagine, like a Korean ninja. And then I'm part of the B group or A group. Mine's going to be white. And yeah, it's just going to be really fun. I'm learning, but it's kind of scary, doing something like that, because you've got to create this. You've got to remember the dance moves, and you've got to move in formation, and kind of nervous about making mistakes. But I think it's a great opportunity. It'll be such a fun event and something to remember. And I think we should do more things like that. Life is short, and before you know it, you've spent most of your time, like me, on my bed, on my computer, only watching YouTube, or just playing games. I remember in my 20s, I just spent so much time playing online games, and not even great games. Or a lot of people could be addicted to something else. But everyone's got, we've got to make these memories, these things that we can remember well, especially someone like me with not the greatest memory in the world. I don't know if it was because of many collisions while I was playing rugby, or it's just an unfortunate thing. But yeah, I think we've got to make these memorable events in our lives so that we can look back and say, oh yeah, I remember doing that. So yeah, so for the next month, I'm going to be doing these dance classes. Thank you. I'm 49 years old, and I haven't worked in 5 years. I recently found a job. What can I do to get in shape and teach my students in an entertaining way? Oh, okay. Hey, Cal, that's a great question. Yeah, I think it depends what level you're going to teach, but you want to be engaging, and you want to make it fun and interesting for your students. So I think the first thing I would say is, in your normal classes, have a structure to your classes where you've got different activities planned for not too long. So let's say you've got like a short, fun game that they play, or introduction activity. I like to start with introduction activities where they have to ask a partner a question, and they've got to talk about it. And then you can have a section where you introduce the grammar, or you talk about something, and then you transition to another activity where the students work together, and then you transition to another one where you ask each student a question, and then you transition to a group activity, and then they give feedback again. But you want to, yeah, so you want to have a certain structure to your class, and that doesn't mean so, and don't spend too much time on one thing, you know. Transition smoothly to a next one. And one way I like to transition is, like, let's say the students know we're going to start, they're going to give feedback, and then I'm going to teach, and I'm going to ask each one of them to give me an answer, or to read a sentence for me, or do an example. And then I'm going to show them, like, a discussion, and I'm going to ask them to do it with a partner, and then I'm going to ask them to do these questions with a partner, and I'm going to take feedback. But each time in between these activities, I'll have some kind of transition. Like, I would a new thing I've started. This is I actually started it this semester. Is I like to pick, let's say, two of there are 5 groups, or there are 10 groups. There are 20 students in class. They're paired up. There are 10 groups. So then I'll say, okay, well, I need 2 losing groups, and I would take a marker, and I would put let's say they are just 5 groups. Okay. And then I would take a marker, and I put it on the back of one of the fingers. And then I'll say, okay, everybody pick a finger, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And then whichever group picks 2, I show them, you lost, and they've got to do it. So, that's a fun way to keep them accountable. Or, if you just want, let's say you've got 20 students and you only want 10 students, you've got 10 questions that you want to practice with the students as examples, then you're going to say, okay, you two, rock, paper, scissors. And then, it's not going to drag on for too long. And also for the students, they are motivated to practice with their partner, because there's a chance that they might get called upon. But there's also the fun thing that they might not be asked, And it reminds me of dolphin training. Have you ever been to a dolphin show? I don't know. I remember going with my parents. We went to Goje, and we went to this dolphin show. I don't know if my mom remembers this. And I remember the guy with the fish. So you've got the trainer, and they've got these small sardines or fish with them. By the way, I think I ate some sardines today. Some Russian sardines I brought with me. I was like, yes, I'm going to finish it. Anyway. So the dolphin does a trick, and they would then they give the dolphin a fish. They reward the dolphin. The dolphin, like, bah, 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 bah. I can do it again. But then sometimes the dolphin would do a trick, and they don't give a fish to the dolphin. And then you're like, boo, the dolphin did the trick. You owe him a fish. But actually, how it works is that trainers only give dolphins, reward them like 70 or 80% of the time. So, and they found that if you always reward a dolphin, it's not fun anymore. Then it's a job. You're basically paying them a salary, and they don't love that. But if you are unfair and you only give them something like 30% of the time, they're not going to learn the trick. They're not going to learn the lesson. So they found that dolphins respond better if you reward them most of the time, but sometimes, they think they've got to work harder for it. Now, kids aren't dolphins, but I think that's something we can also learn from there, is that, the students should always feel like, wow, maybe there's a chance I don't have to do something, but I probably have to, or something like that. Yeah, it's actually, I think there are further things we can consider further when we think about it. Okay, so what was I talking about? Yeah, and then the activities, make sure the students chat to each other, and then it's all good. Okay. What's in great? Thanks a lot. Yeah, just short, fun activities. Lots of pair things they have to do, and I think mingles are probably the best thing. Especially students want to work together, so you give them a list of things, and then you say, okay, well, go and give them a list of questions, 10 questions, and say, okay, I want you to go and interview 6 different students, and then they get them to stand up and interview 6 and write down the answer, and then each student is supposed to tell you something. Okay, Jenny's favorite toy is a ball. So I'm going to do the dance, and I've saved the best for last. My wedding. I should have started with my wedding. My wife's going to be listening to this. She's going to be like, Eric, why don't you start with the wedding? Why do you talk about 50 different topics? Should get to the wedding. So, a month ago, I got married. I went to Russia. My wife and I traveled around for a little bit more than a week. We went from Kazan, that's where we got married. But first, we went to Sochi. Beautiful, beautiful city. She always told me about Sochi, telling me, "Oh, Eric, this is my favorite place, but it's kind of fancy. It's like the California of Russia." And I thought, oh, okay, well, it's just a pretty city, next to the sea, the Black Sea, but it's the architecture, the parks, and the food, everything, the people, everything is just so nice there. So I understood it a lot better why she loved that place. And then we went to Volgograd. Now she surprised me with this one. She only told me a day ahead of the time that we're going to Volgograd, because there's a big statue that I've wanted to see. The Motherland Calls, and that is in Volgograd. It's like 200 meters tall. It's a big lady with a sword. It says, "Follow me." And they've also got the eternal flame there, and so many soldiers died there, when Germany and Russia fought. So Volgograd is the old Stalingrad, and so many people died. And I actually told her that there's a famous movie called Enemy at the Gates that's basically about that. So I'm waiting to watch that with her at some point. Yeah, we should watch that on the. Where can we watch it? We should watch that together. I'm really excited to do things like this, because I hate modern media, movies, TV shows. Oh, horrible. The writing is bad, and there's also always a political message in it, and I just cannot stomach it. The writing is so bad for these movies, and people accept mediocrity, saying, oh, if something is 10 years ago, 20 years ago, we would have given it 30%, and now people say, well, just compared to whatever else is out, it's an 80. And I'm like, man, when did we accept things like this? Olga, hi. You adore Sochi. Yeah, it's beautiful there. I really understand why Alina likes it so much. Beautiful. We went there, and every time I'm in Russia, the weather's amazing. So went there, and it was still warm, and even went swimming, and just people there. We walked kilometers. It was really good. Really enjoyed it there. Yeah, so many places I still want to see. She showed me some photos from Yekaterinburg now, and it's snowing everywhere. But I really want to go and visit again. Maybe next, knock on wood, maybe next summer. But first, I really want to move into our new apartment and live together. That'll be good. Me being Russian, I've seen. Olga, that's true of everyone. It's. So sometimes with Koreans, I talk to Koreans, and they say, wow, I haven't been to all these places. And then if I talk to other people that go to South Africa, they go and see more places than we see. It's just, when you live in a country, of these places, but, you're invested in your life, and it's not your mission to go and see, because you might never go back. So it's not your mission to see. But it also makes me think of that book. What is that book? The one, the Four Commandments. What was it? It's by Paulo something. Oh, what's that? Famous book by Paulo. Famous book Paulo. Oh yeah, Paulo Coelho. Yeah, Paulo. What is it? Oh, The Alchemist. Yeah, it was The Alchemist, where talks about the main character. I forgot what the name is. Novosibirsk. Yeah, that's a big one, right? Let's see. Alina told me something about it. Let me look it up quickly. Search Google. Okay. Let's see. No, Siprisk. Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's quite a big city. It's the How big is it? Yeah, that's interesting. I've never been there. Might be interesting. Um, I'd also like to go with a yeah because I've been to everything in the east, Yekaterina, and then but that's wow, it's very close to Kazakhstan and Mongolia. Wow, it's very central. It must be so cold in now, but it looks interesting. Very cool. What is it famous for? It's a big industrial city for engineering. I just love the architecture. At first, I thought, wow, it's so big and intimidating. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'll look it up. So it's the capital of Siberia, I guess. It's the third city. Okay, that's what I thought. Quite big, huh? Okay, I'll consider it. Um, because yeah, I really enjoy it. You know what I've been doing recently? Not recently tonight. Oh yeah, I was supposed to talk about the wedding. So we went to. I'm just jumping all over the place. So we went to Sochi, and then we went to Volgograd, and then we took the train to Volgograd, which is always interesting. So the before we got on the train, she's like, Eric, it's not the first, it's not the second or first class that we took from St. Petersburg to Moscow. It's the cheaper seats, and I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It's 8 hours as long as I can sleep, and we've got our phones. It's fine. And then we got on there, and it was such a nice experience. We had this older gentleman and lady underneath, but we had the top bunks, which isn't always the best. But the people around were so friendly, and drank tea. We ate all the food we had, so I had a really nice time on the train. And then we got there, and then went to see everything, and then we flew to Kazan. And then in Kazan, it was so fast because we had to prepare for the wedding, and we rented a small apartment for us. The apartment was beautiful. Alina's so good when she picks it out, and a big house for a family because nobody really lives in Kazan, but it's in between Yekaterinburg and Moscow, and so it looked like an interesting city. So we decided to have it there, and so we met everyone the first night to have a big dinner together, and I got my suit, and the suit was a little bit big for me, but it looked amazing. And then Alina and I went home, and then the morning we basically had to rush to get a few things. And Alina went to get her dress and her makeup done, and I got ready, and then I met her. But and in the morning, one of my favorite memories is just going for a really nice breakfast together. So we before we went to get ready, she's like, Eric, it's going to be a long day, let's go eat breakfast. And we went to this nice restaurant, and we had a really good plate of food, and it was just a nice way to start the day, and I'm really appreciative for that. And so yeah, got everything ready. We did our photo shoots, and I remember we were doing the photo shoots, and I thought, oh, she looks so beautiful, nothing can go wrong. It's no, not when she looks this beautiful. So, and then we went to the venue, and just enjoyed it. Unfortunately, my Russian isn't very good, so I missed a few things. But the MC was great. The DJ was amazing. Everybody had a fun time, and, and I had to dance, and yeah, it was just such a good time. And we got all the video and everything back. I was stressed initially about just the cost for covering everything, but everything worked out. And so yeah, got married, and we spent a few days there, looking around, spending time with everyone, and then I had to fly back home, and they also had to go home. But yeah, it was just an incredible experience. I'm so happy for it. Sad that no one of my family could go, but that's just the way it was. So it's okay. Um, and then I came back alone, so really miss her getting all the paperwork done. So Really want to see her in a month. But there was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, yeah, guys, if you've got other questions. My dad says, Olga, his aunt in the UK's name is also Olga. Did you visit the Rosa Couture in Sochi? Let me see what that is. By the way, yeah, my wife's mom's no. Search Rosa Couture. Let's see. I went there. It was amazing. I've got some photos too. Yeah, Rosa Couture. So we went there and we went up the mountain. So Rosa Couture is this town right underneath the mountain there, and it was incredible. Well, unfortunately, so we went up the mountain and then we had to rush down, and we couldn't really enjoy everything too much because we had to move on. But it was so nice to do everything. We've got photos from there. Let's see if I can find it on. Did I put it on my Instagram? I'm so sad that I had to make a second Instagram. I really miss my old Instagram. But yeah, I've got some photos from there. It was really incredible. It wasn't too cold. We had everything on, so I really enjoyed that. Yeah. So now these days I'm just exercising for for the event, and also I don't know if I told you guys this, but yeah. Recently, I've been making a lot of videos about, a couple of months ago, I made videos about teachers quitting, and the videos did really well. And so I continued making them, as well as making other videos that I feel would be interesting or useful for teachers. But these videos got a lot of video views, so of course I'm going to make it more, because I'm going to pay for my wedding and for my life with my wife together. Yeah, we've got to move and we want to start a family soon. So yeah, I've got to take care of business. But unfortunately, some of these videos, I got too eager and I posted them without a real reaction from me. And so YouTube demonetized me for 3 months. So yeah, no money for Eric. Which was very difficult, because I was going, it's like right before I go for my wedding and before I travel to Russia, and we have to get everything ready, and suddenly, all these videos that I've made, I don't get anything for them for 3 months. And so it was so stressful. And I removed all these videos. I removed everyone, most of them, the ones that even had some of my commentary on. I just wanted to make sure that after these 3 months, if I reapply, that it gets accepted. So more than a week ago, I pressed the button to reapply. So they're checking it. It might take a month. But as soon as it starts up, I'm going to make some more reaction videos, but proper reactions of me in there reacting to interesting content about teaching. So yesterday I put out that video about the teacher that sued that sued because a 6-year-old student shot her. So yeah, I'm going to do a little bit more of that as soon as I get monetized, because it's important. Krostiast, hi, what's going on? Everything's good, brother. Yeah, just hanging out. Let's see. What does he say? No, go away. Yep, he always says humor, but do not be the class clown. Did Russian understand that you're a foreigner? Yeah. It's interesting. I go there, and then I know that a lot of the it's going to be a surprise having someone that speaks English there, because not a lot of travelers go there that speak English. So I knew that it might be a surprise, but it was also fun, because with my wife I speak English with her, and then people notice. And for some reason, so my accent has changed a lot since coming to Korea. I used to have a very pure British accent, and now it's like a mixture of like British and American English. But then as soon as I go there, I feel like there are no constraints, and I speak I feel like I speak a purer English again. And I know that actually, it's kind of fun when I get a chance to interact with people there, um, and I can use some English. It's kind of fun. They're surprised and they're like, oh, a little bit surprised, but then they really get into it. Actually, at the Rosa, what is it called? Rosa. Where are you? Rosa Couture. We went to the shop, and the lady there, well, obviously she sold to some foreigners, but yeah, she realized I was a foreigner and started speaking English. And even on the flight, so we took a flight from Volgograd to Kazan, and but they gave us different seats. I don't know why they're doing it. Recently, they've just been giving us different seats. And so I was sitting in the back, and my wife was sitting in the front and in the middle. And a young lady sat next to me. And I say, Strasvicha, and she says hello. And then I knew she was younger, but she looked like, she maybe she's traveled a bit, so she knows about the world. And I'm like, listen, do you want to sit on on the window seat? And she's like, oh, and she realizes, and she's like, no, it's okay. She doesn't mind. And I said, well, actually, my wife's over there and she's sitting in the window seat. Is it possible for us to switch? And so she realized, and she's like, sure. And she agreed, and my wife was very surprised and happy to come and sit next to me. Yeah, so it's been so positive too. Everywhere I went, people would be more curious about it. And yeah, I feel like even the first time I went to see her when I stopped at the airport in Moscow, even the people there, they're like so happy to use English. So they're like, oh, that's kind of cool. So yeah, I think people's attitudes were really good. And then obviously, some of her family or some of the older people that don't speak English, they feel bad that they can't help me. So I really appreciated that. But yeah, it's up to me to learn some more Russian. Okay, let's see. Hi, it's true. The accent changes throughout the years. It does. Have you traveled by Subsun? Yeah, I think that's the one I traveled with. In the train where you sleep over. I think that's the one, right? So that's Subsun. It's showing me a lot of other things, but yeah, no, I think that's yeah, the sleepover train. No, is that it? So is it a specific train? No, but I really enjoy traveling in Russia. We'll definitely go there very often. But yeah, I'm just so excited to go to South Africa. We'll go to South Africa. We're going to see my parents. We're going to go on safari a little bit, hopefully. Well, like I said, I don't have my I don't have my monetization, so it might not be a very expensive trip. Oh well, no, it'll be an expensive trip, but might not be able to spend as much as we want to. But at least maybe see a little bit of safari, and then really want to show her Cape Town, to show her how beautiful it is, and she's really invested in going there. Mostly to introduce her to my parents, and there's a chance that her mom might come and visit too. So, and I think that would be nice. I see a lot of her mom and my parents too, and I know that despite the language barrier, I think they would get along famously. So her mom might come visit for a week in Cape Town, show her around, and then going back up north to see my parents. Yeah, just trying to sort everything out, and then I'm just going to have to work hard to save up money to do that. So I think that's the only thing. It's the fastest train in Russia. Oh yeah, why was I going to talk about The Alchemist? Oh yeah, about The Alchemist. Why I was trying to bring it up. In The Alchemist, there's this part where the main character talks to a guy who wants to go to Mecca, but he always keeps on saying, next year, next year, next year. There's always something that comes up, and he's supposed to go to Mecca. Every Muslim's supposed to the journey. What is it called? Not the journey. What has to go to Mecca? What is it called? It's not the journey. Mecca journey. You guys should tell me, what is it again? It's not a Mecca. It's the, what is it called? Yes, the Hajj. Okay, yeah, it's the pilgrimage. There's another pilgrimage that I heard of, the one that goes, I think it goes through Italy or Spain. That's also quite interesting. But anyway, so the pilgrimage, and he never went. And I think, when you live in a country, um, you should try and see more of your own country somehow, but we get so involved in our lives that we kind of forget. And that's one thing I kind of enjoy about Korea, is that, well, a lot of Koreans don't visit everywhere, but some try and make it like once a month to take a weekend trip somewhere with their family. And I think that's something I want to incorporate more. And that's one of the things I love about Alina, is that, I sedentary. Yeah, I'm very sedentary. Even with my family, we're used to staying at home. But what I like about Alina is she always, like, I enjoy my life more because I'm going outside and I'm doing things. And I would be so sad if another 20 years went by and all I had to show for it was me sitting in front of a computer, or playing games or things. So yeah, no, it's important to have someone to push you like that. Yeah, so what am I going to do on the channel for the next while? I'm going to so I'm just waiting to be monetized, but I'm going to release some more videos. I think maybe it's been a while since I released some more activity videos. And I'm also going to make more of these videos that get all the views as soon as I get monetized. But I'm going to start making them just interesting ones about teaching. And from next year, I want to be really dedicated and make some more courses and useful things for teachers. Especially, what I wanted to make one about how to teach personalities and appearance. I think that's the next one I wanted to do. I thought I'd do something on that on this weekend, but I did nothing. So maybe next time I'll do something like this. To be honest, we don't earn much here in Russia, especially teachers. Yeah, that's really difficult. Yeah, Olga, no, I totally understand it. I know it's a lot of my viewers, Russian viewers and other viewers, just say, it's very tough. And so a lot of young teachers are leaving Russia, but it's the same across the world, where a lot of people, a lot of teachers just, you've got to go to countries where you earn more or can have a better standard of life, and it's very sad. I kind of wonder what my life would have been like if I stayed in South Africa. Yeah, I don't dwell on it too much, but it's kind of difficult to think that to live like that. But yeah, it's important to find a way to enjoy your life and to save and to do all these things, but it can be very tough. But my prayers always go out to everyone. I see my dad's already saying bye. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. Yeah, thanks, Dad, for all the support. It's always nice. Guys, thank you so much for coming with me on this journey. I'll try and live stream a little bit more. And what else? Next year, I'll set up a new studio where I can make even more content. I'd like to bring out 2 videos a week and perhaps a live stream. And perhaps my wife and I will start a different channel where we can share more like vlogs and things like that about our lives, because I'm not that creative with shooting, but she's very creative, and I think it can be fun to put some things out about our lives. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. I wish you the best for this week, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye. Okay, where do I end this? End stream.